Hey, it's Adrian, and today I have a very impressive video doorbell. This is the Botslab Video Doorbell 2 Pro, and what makes this so unique is its impressive 180-degree field of view, both horizontally and vertically. That means you'll be able to see every visitor from head to toe, and you'll be able to see your packages anywhere it's placed outside your door. On top of that, we also have an included Chime unit which functions as a home base that has local storage. There's also free included cloud storage and IP66 rating and more. So stick around to find out if this could be your next video doorbell, and a big thanks to Botslab for sending this out for review. In the box, we have the video doorbell, an optional 15-degree wedge with 3M tape pre-applied to it, and a mounting bracket again with 3M tape applied if you don't want to use the supplied screws on your door or door frame. There's also wiring. I'm not sure if this is for Chime functionality or to provide power. I'll find out later. There's USB Type A to Type C cable to top up the battery in here. Ejector tool just to separate the doorbell from the bracket so no one walks off with it. The Chime unit / base station, a manual. We also have positioning stickers if you're going to be using the screws, and we also have some handy stickers to just let people know to ring the doorbell or to place your delivery there. So the Video Doorbell 2 Pro actually does feel quite pro in the hand because this comes in at a hefty 253 grams or half of a pound, and the build quality feels good on here. You know, everything is nicely sealed, and even if I squeeze and, you know, kind of place pressure and twist it, there's no flexing or creaking. It is actually quite well made. And we do have a two-tone color scheme, pretty much all matte all the way around. Now we have the main camera lens. We also have the sensor area with the PIR and radar sensor microphone. And then we also have a huge ringer button that has a tactile press along with an indicator ring light surrounding it. Then we also have another sensor at the bottom here, the speaker grill, and if I take a look at the back, this is where we have a clip for the mounting bracket at the rear, area for wiring the power button, and at the very top, this is where we're going to put in the SIM ejector tool to press down this area to detach it so that no one can just walk off with it. And on the right side, this is where we have the USB Type-C port just to top this up anytime it's needed. The base station and Chime unit is fairly compact and lightweight. There's an LED indicator light at the front, a connection or pairing button, and then we have adjustable antennas. At the back, there's a speaker grill, and then we have the power plug, which is swappable if you live in a different region. Specs include a 5 megapixel sensor with a resolution of 2240 by 2240. There's an impressive 180 degrees field of view, HDR. We have visitor recognition via the AI chip, and there's also human detection and loitering and a staying alarm. There's radar and PIR detection, a 6400 milliamp hour battery, 2.4 or 5.0 Wi-Fi support, and IP66 weatherproof rating, 32 gigabytes of max local storage. I'm going to add the Video Doorbell 2 Pro to the Botslab app, so I'm going to click on Add Device, and then I'm just going to scan the QR code located at the very back of the doorbell. That's done, and it's asking me if I want to connect by Bluetooth or by AP hotspot mode. So I'm going to pick AP hotspot mode. I am connected to a 5.0 gigahertz network right now on my phone. And next I'm going to go ahead and plug in the base station. So let me do that now.
Waiting to receive network configuration information.
The light's now flashing. I'm going to go to the next step. I'm going to press and hold the power button for at least 5 seconds.
Welcome to Botslab Video Doorbell.
Please hold your cell phone close to the base station. I think I'm close enough. I'm just going to go ahead and click next. Enable everything. Okay, and it's found the video doorbell. I'm going to configure the network. Just going to put in my Wi-Fi password.
Wi-Fi information received. Wi-Fi connected.
To install, we have the option to just use this as a battery-powered doorbell or with it being hardwired. So setup was really easy. I'm just going to start live view before I go ahead and permanently mount it. So I'll give that a second to load up. Let's take a look at the Botslab app. So right away, we could jump into live view, into cloud recording if you have a cloud plan, and into settings. And then there's some tabs at the bottom here for events, AI, and me. But first, let's jump into live view. All right, so you see that loads up very quickly. And at the very top right, I can see that I'm at 100%. And you can hear that car going by. You can hear the car going by, so the microphone pickup is really good. I'll just lower that. But yes, we're at 100%, and I have the option here to switch from UHD streaming to HD or Fluent if I had lower bandwidth. Now, what's really cool on here is actually this horizontal correction. So you can see I could cycle through, you know, to vertical correction and then into this 180 by 180 view, which just shows everything. You can see this person walking there. I could kind of zoom in on them. Let's go back into VR mode now. And this is where I can actually do a digital kind of look around and see exactly what's going on. So say I had a package at the bottom corner here, I could just go ahead and look at that instead of being in that 180 by 180 view. And then you have horizontal correction, vertical correction, and view correction. So yeah, ton of options, really cool. And of course you can always jump into full screen mode. And of course when you go to horizontal view, that's going to make a bit more sense. Now let's get out of that. And I will switch it to the view correction mode just so we could see that 180 by 180. Now at the very bottom we have options to take a manual recording if you saw something interesting, and then when you stop that, it's just going to save to your phone. You can also take a screenshot, and then you can also initiate two-way talk with whoever is outside. And then you can also cut the volume so that when you open the app up, it's not going to be very loud. And if I tap on the three dots here, I have additional options to trigger the alarm manually. I could send a pre-recorded reply, like one moment please, we'll be right there, etc. But I didn't see an option to add my own reply. And then you can also go ahead and pick a voice filter, so you can leave it on normal or pick a male filter or a funny filter. If I tap on cloud recording, it actually does show cloud recordings on here. Now, I'm not sure why. I believe this is maybe a trial because I don't remember signing up for the cloud plan. And then you can also filter this by, if it was a ringer, if it was a person, if it was a prowler, like someone lingering, or just, motion, for example. Now, if I go into local, this is where it's reading from the 32 gigabytes of onboard storage in the Chime unit. And you could see I can just cycle through that. That's for today. And if I go into yesterday, a couple more options here as well, and that all loads up very quickly and with thumbnails, which is great. And to review video, it's really easy. You'll tap on events and then you have a bunch of different clips. I'll tap on the first one here and then I could just download that. And of course you can also do the view correction as well. And just a heads up, whenever you download the clips, it is going to download it in that 180 by 180 field of view. And it doesn't matter if you've switched it to, the horizontal view or vertical view, it always downloads in that 180 by 180 view. By the way, if you're finding this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing, but let's get back to it. Let's take a look at the full settings so we could see the doorbell name, and then it also shows the ID and the power level as well. Now you can also share the device by putting in an email address, but what you can also do is change the level of access, which is not something that I've seen on another camera system, so that's really cool. Now we can also turn on or off motion recording, same with ring alerts. For the do not disturb period, you can be not disturbed for as low as 30 minutes all the way up to 4 hours. And then if we go into message settings, I've enabled it to give me, images, human detected, and if a person is staying or loitering. Under prowler alarm, this is a cool feature. So once you turn this on, you have access to some additional options. So if someone's loitering or lingering in front of your doorway, you could play this prompt, please leave right now, police on the way, or you could play an alarm or a dog barking. Now what you can also do is set how long until that's triggered. So it could just be if they're standing there for 8 seconds to 15 seconds, which is really good. It would have been good to maybe make that even a bit longer, because sometimes people do ring your doorbell and they may stay a little bit longer to see if you come. And then you could set the active time, so if you're not expecting anyone past midnight, then go ahead and activate it for midnight onwards. There's also an anti-theft siren, so if someone is trying to remove the doorbell, that will also trigger. So good feature to have. Under detection zone, this is where we can set how far out we want to be notified or when we want notifications triggered. So I'll click on next, and I can see that the default is at about 10 feet, but I can switch this all the way up to 25 feet away, and then you could set the sensitivity from low to high. Image, night vision, and sound. So if I go into audio settings, this is where I could choose the volume. And I notice if you put it all the way to the max, it kind of gets a bit distorted. So, about 75% is good. And you can also change the volume for the base station or chime unit. And you can also change the type of ringtone. Now, what you can also do is have silent recording. So all video recordings will be without audio if you like. And then we can also go into picture night vision, and you can enable HDR if you need that. For the most part, it's been working fairly well for me without it, so I've left that off. And then you could put night vision to, always off, automatic switching, or always on. If you enable the doorbell button indicator, you'll have a soft LED glow. Under battery saving mode, I've set it to 60 seconds maximum clip length and with a 0-second retrigger time. Now mine is wired to my existing chime, so it is receiving power and it will trigger my indoor chime. Now, if you were just using this with battery mode only and you're not going to have it wired, then this is going to be more beneficial to you. Under device health, this is where we can see the current battery level and the Wi-Fi signal. Under storage, I could see that I'm only utilizing about 220 megabytes of the total 29 gigs available to me. If you connect the doorbell to your existing indoor chime, you could go into the option here and go ahead and change the current type. Under cloud recording, you could see it's not subscribed, even though I did see the option and it does show me some clips. So it may be a trial or just a limited free option, but plans start at $30 a year or $5 a month. To install, decide if you're going to use the angle wedge or not. If you are going to use the angle wedge, go ahead and secure that first, then secure the mounting plate to the angle wedge. Next, connect the wires to the rear of the doorbell if you are going to be using it in wired mode versus just battery mode. Then finally snap the doorbell into the mounting plate and you're done. The video quality is great on here thanks to that 2240 by 2240 resolution. Now, because it is that resolution, the videos are going to be presented in this fisheye type of view. While you're in the app, you can use view correction and it's going to kind of simulate a vertical view, horizontal view, or VR view, but the native video recording is still in that 2240 by 2240 resolution. Now, it's still easy to make out faces when they're close enough to the video doorbell. I had mine mounted to the side, and even when I had a delivery person, you could still make out their face. Obviously, if I mounted it directly on the door facing them, it would be even easier. So video was clearer during the day and at night. And one thing I want to point out is that I have a covered entryway, so I don't get a lot of direct light coming in anytime someone's standing there. But even with that said, it was still easy to make out faces, much easier than with other brands that I've used, which, have a hard time making out dark details. Night vision video was also very good, and it didn't matter if you used the black and white night vision or color night vision. Now, in my clips, I did have a lot of ambient light because I have kind of like a porch light or overhead light. That really made a big difference. But if you didn't have that and you had kind of like no ambient light, you'd have to use the black and white feature instead of the color night vision. And that really wide 180-degree field of view really came in handy for figuring out where my packages were delivered. There's a lot of video doorbells that also have a wide field of view, not 180-degree wide, but the problem they have is that anytime a package is placed like directly under the video doorbell, you may just see a little bit of the package or you may not see it at all, and this I didn't have any problems. The doorbell was also really quick and responsive at detecting motion, and once it detected motion, it was only a few seconds till it would send me an app alert on my phone, which usually included a thumbnail, which is really handy because, then you can decide, do I need to actually tap on this or can I just ignore it because it's someone who I know who's coming and going. Now, once you tap on that, it'll pull up the app easily and you can easily see what's going on in terms of a live view video. And it was just as fast once someone pressed the doorbell ringer and you wanted to initiate a two-way talk. It would just pop up on your phone and you could see a preview of the person's face before you decided to answer and initiate two-way talk or not.
Please leave right now. Police on the way.
The speakers on here are also very impressive. They're to date the loudest speakers I've heard on a video doorbell. Now, it does come with a plug-in chime unit which also functions as the local storage hub, and that is a nice touch because there's bigger brands out there that don't include a chime unit, which is a huge oversight. But it's great that we can also wire it, which I did do. That helps keep the battery topped up and it triggers my home's existing chime.
This is the male voice filter and the normal voice filter.
I'm estimating that I'll get at least half a year of video playback history, and that's because this is not a 24/7 recording video doorbell. It records motion-based or event-based video clips. So my battery life has remained topped up the entire time because I hardwired it to my home's existing chime, and that's charging the battery at the same time it's triggering my home's chime. So I can't really comment on how well the battery life is, but it does have a large 6,400 milliamp hour battery, and it is very easy to recharge it anytime you need to do that. But if you do have the option to wire it, I highly recommend doing that. So yeah, overall the Botslab Video Doorbell 2 Pro is a solid option. I'm really loving the 180-degree field of view. Once you've experienced that and then using that kind of simulated VR view where you could just take a full look around right, left, up, down so you could see packages, it's really hard to go back to, basic doorbells with just, measly, 130-degree field of views. The motion detection and app alerts are also really quick on here, and I really like that we have an included Chime unit. And unlike some other large brands, you don't have to pay any monthly fees to get proper functionality out of this system. So if you're interested in picking up the Botslab Video Doorbell 2 Pro, I'm going to leave some links down below for you to check it out for yourself. And as always, if you found this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. It truly does help me out, and I'll see you in the next one soon.